I wanted to get on here this morning. I know a lot of people are at work, and I know a lot of people may not join this live, and that is fine, because you can see it later, because it'll be on my feed, it'll be on my story. And I've been saying I'm going to go live for a while now, but I always get busy, life get busy, and I always end up doing something. But today, I had time, so I got on here. I just finished cutting the grass because it's Father's Day week. And I did not want my husband to end up cutting the grass. So while he's at work, I got up early this morning and I cut the grass. So when he gets home, the grass will be cut. Because I'm not one of them women who feel like I'm too good to get outside and do yard work. I'm no better than my husband. I'm no better than my son. If they can cut the grass, I can cut the grass as well. So I know some women feel like, oh, that's a man job. I'm not one of them women. I believe in equal work when it comes to things like that. So, but good morning, kings and queens. I forgot to say that. That's my saying. But I got on here because I wanted to read a chapter out of my book, chapter 18, titled Men Are Not Always the Problem, because that's how I feel. I've seen different people that I love go through different things, and since it's Father's Day, I decided I was going to read it. I have not promoted my book in a while, and I know I've been asked several times, like, why you don't promote your book that much? Because I don't feel like I have to promote my book all the time. That's just not who I am. I don't feel like I made the book just for money. Yes, if I get money, that's a plus, but I didn't make it for money. I made it because God put it in my spirit to write the book. These are actually my thoughts, things that I was going through, and I journaled about it, and I wrote it down, and then I incorporate the word into it. And that's how I was healing, because when I would go through things, I would write down what I'm going through. Then I would always find a Bible verse to relate to what I'm going through to help me get through. If it wasn't a Bible verse, I would find a quote to help me get through. So some chapters have quotes in my book. I still do that to this day. I'll find things. If I'm going through things, I will go through the Bible, or I will Google a Bible verse, whatever I feel like doing at that time, because that's what works for me. And I feel like it's very, what's the word? I just feel like that's how I heal. That's how I get through things. I think it's very important. We'll say that. I think it's very important that you find things from the word to help you get through, because if not, it's easy to transform into the ways of this world and think like the world and go tit for tat and get out of character. And I've had my share of doing that, but I'm on a whole new journey. I'm not with that. I don't have time to be wasting my time explaining myself. I don't have time to be going back and forth with people. I just don't have time. So I wanted the men to know that my book is not just for women. My book is for everyone, because I love our men. Our men have been through a lot. And I may ask some questions after this live too. And people that watch the replay can come back and comment if you feel free to do so. Because I just feel like our men go through a lot. I feel like society always judge men, but they don't hold women to the same standards. I feel like even Father's Day. So Father's Day, it's some woman out here gonna say, Happy Father's Day to myself. I really wish we would let that go in 2026. Like, okay, thank you, but you're not a man. Yes, you can raise your child as a single mom, but you still can't take away what the role a man plays in a child life is totally different. Because me and my husband, parenting my son is totally different. Like, we think differently. I think one way, he think one way. We're not always on the same page, but we find a ground. We have to find a way to come together, because we don't have no manual when it comes to parenting. Nobody taught us how to be a parent, so we learn as we go. So I do know that it's very important for a child to have his father in his life, and a lot of women make it very difficult for that father to be in their life. I'm thankful that I have my husband who stepped up to be my son's father when my son was only in second grade, and my son's about to be a senior. And my son's father has stepped up a whole lot. I'm very proud of him, because we've never been like on bad terms. We've always been cool. Like, we've always been cool. We always can talk to each other. Like, we just cool like that. Like, even to this day, I can talk to my son's father. But I'm not going to act like he's always been the perfect dad. And he knows that. He's even told my husband, he appreciate him stepping up. So, but I give credit when it's due, and my son's father has stepped up a lot. My husband is the best. He is. And then I have my father, who stepped up and played my son's role when my son was first born. My dad started getting my son when he was 2 years old. A lot of people be like, you let your child go to a whole nother state at 2 years? Yes, I did. Why? Because I trust my father, and I knew my child was in good hands. I didn't even potty train my son. My son was potty trained under my dad's guidance. He was with my dad when he learned to be potty trained. So I love my men. I love them because they really stepped up. But like I said, I got on here. Yes, I want to give props to the men, but I did want to read out my book, chapter 18. I'm going to read the whole chapter. And just so you know, my chapters are very short. Because like I said, it's things I was journaling and I turned it to a book. It may be 1 page, it may be 2 pages, it may be 3 pages, it may be 4. It just depends on, what I was going through at that time. Good morning, bestie. I see you, D. But I did want to go ahead and read that. And my book is called Hurt People, but Heal People, Heal People. Healing through my testimonies in God's Word. Because I was a person who was hurt before, and I hurt other people, but now I'm healed in that area, and now I want to heal and help other people who may be going through what I went through. Not saying that I'm not still healing in other areas. That's not what I'm saying, because I feel like every day you have to heal and you have to constantly grow. Like, it's not a manual to life. We're going to constantly face different trials, so we definitely go through different seasons and we have to grow in different areas. But like I said, I did want to get on here and read it. Chapter 18 from my book called Men Are Not Always a Problem. If you do feel led to purchase my book one day, it's on Amazon. It's on Lulu.com for $12.99. But like I said, I didn't write my book just to get paid. I wrote it because that's what God told me to do. And I had to be obedient because God's been putting in my spirit for years to write. But I always was scared, worried about what people would think. But now I don't care, because I rather care what God thinks than what other people think. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking. And like I said, at the end of this live, I probably will ask some questions. And I'm going to go ahead and read the chapter, what I wrote in here. Once again, it's called Men Are Not Always the Problem. Over these last few years, I have realized that men are not always the problem. I used to always believe that men were the abusers, liars, deadbeats, and so much more due to things that I have experienced in my life and witnessed female family members go through with a man. But as I have matured and observed, I have realized that some of us women are also abusers, liars, deadbeats, manipulators, and so much more. We always want to point the finger at the man instead of owning our mess. And that's why God put in my spirit to write this blog post, because I don't support women who are like that. I'm a girl's girl, and I will support my women as much as I can, but right is right and wrong is wrong. It's time that someone stands up for our men. So many women use their children as pawns against their children's father. And to me, that is the devil's work. If you are one of those women, you need to get saved, go to therapy, and grow up. I talk to so many women who would say their kids' fathers are deadbeats and don't do anything for their kids, only to find out that the father wasn't a deadbeat and that the woman was just mad because he chose to live a life that didn't include her. According to Google, a deadbeat is a person who deliberately avoids paying debts or neglects responsibilities. So if you are calling your child or children's father a deadbeat and he is paying child support, calling his child or children over the phone, or texting them constantly, going to school events, and spending time with them, they are not a deadbeat. There is only so much that a person can do and take from a person who is just wicked and bitter. I have witnessed my husband and other male family members face ongoing obstacles when attempting to spend quality time with their kids. Although they faithfully provide financial support and try to communicate in person and by phone with their children, I've heard countless stories of men going to the courthouse and requesting to put on child support due to the custodial parent calling them a deadbeat, when they are upholding the financial agreement they agreed upon with the courts. What I've realized is that women who hurt their children's fathers on purpose are either resentful that their ex-partner has moved on physically and emotionally, or they are grieving the loss of a good man. Some examples of the toxic behavior I've witnessed firsthand. First, the custodial parent/mother would often send the non-custodial parent/father pictures of the children early in the morning or late at night during the work week. There is nothing wrong with sending pictures of your kids when they are school-aged or younger, but at 6 a.m. in the morning or midnight is inconsiderate and comes across as intentional, especially when it's regularly. So many parents are blind to the fact that when they're trying to hurt their ex, they're really only hurting their child. What a beautiful world it would be if parents truly put their child's well-being ahead of their revenge agenda. Jenna Korf. Another example is a close friend of mine witnessed. The father reached out to the mother to coordinate the date, time, and location for his court-ordered routine visits. Mother shows up at the pickup location midday dressed in nightclub attire, makes flirtatious comments, and appears to make an advance at the father. The father declines her advances, and she becomes virtually agitated in front of the children. Another incident surrounding court-ordered visitations involved the mother refusing to allow the kids to leave with their father when she noticed his wife and stepchild were in his car. These type of women don't care that they are hurting their children. Now the father must witness his kids crying because they no longer can go with him. The women will call their friends and family members and tell lies about the child's father to destroy his character, all because he didn't beg you like you wanted him to, or didn't acknowledge what you had on. I encourage involved fathers to seek joint custody, even if you are on good terms today, because that may change once you have moved on. Women, there comes a point in our life where we have to grow up and realize that just because we have a child by a man doesn't mean he's going to stay, and doesn't mean that he is a bad person just because he no longer wants to be in a relationship with you. We also need to stop blaming our kid's father's new partner for his decision making when he stands up to you. A man is not a doormat, and he has a mind of his own and can make his own decisions. Whether some of you women realize it or not, parent alienation is emotional abuse. You can hide behind your lies all day, but one day you will have to explain to your child why you hated the other parent more than you loved them. Women, we can't control who our ex has around our kids. The way you have the right to bring whoever you want around your kids, he also has the right to do the same. A father should never have to go to court for visitation to see his kids because she is mad that he has a certain person around them, even though that person has never done anything to you or your kids. We women will badmouth our kids' fathers to our kids just to make them see their father in a bad light, not knowing that karma is real and what goes around comes around. To the men reading this, continue to be the wonderful father that you are. Let God deal with the unhealed person because only He can save their deceitful soul. The kids may believe their mother at the moment because that's who they live with, but once they get older, they will start seeing things for themselves. And if they never do, all you can do is pray one day they will, but never stop living your life because that's what the enemy wants you to do. He shouldn't have to fight this hard or even fight to see his child unknown. Lastly, women, we need to stop putting our hands on men and then playing the victim when they react. It's neither right for a man to physically assault a woman, nor is it right for a woman to physically assault a man. Neither one of us is better than the next person. If a man walks away from you during an argument, let him go. Stop chasing him and give him his space. Also, stop fighting and being toxic in front of your kids because you are showing them that this lifestyle is okay when it isn't. We women will provoke that man and then say he's not a real man. No, you aren't a mature woman and need to let go of your childish ways. If you think putting your hands on a man is cute and you laugh about it with your friends, it says a lot about the person that you are inside, and you need to do some inner work within. Men can be victims too. Women are not only victims of domestic violence and abuse, men also suffer from domestic abuse, especially verbal and emotional abuse, and may even more ashamed to seek help. And that's it. I hope everybody does go back and replay it and listen to the whole thing. But I just wonder, like, why is there so many bitter women out here? Like, I did not realize how bitter a lot of women are until I got with my husband and I really started witnessing. And then I would talk to my cousins, I would talk to other family members, and I would find out their story and find out they've also went through things similar to what I had to witness my husband go through, and it's sad. I just wish that we as women would do so much better. Do y'all feel like a child will eventually wake up, like I said, and realize their father was not always the problem? I really feel like they will. These are just things I'm asking you off the top of my head. I don't be writing stuff down like that all the time because I like to be authentic. I like to just ask stuff from the heart so you know it's real because I'm real. That's just who I am. I can't be nobody but myself. But if any men watch this live, y'all feel free to have your opinion. If any of you are not ashamed, have any of you went through that? You can share your story in the comments because, men, you're not alone. It's so many of y'all going through that. Like I said, a lot of men will go put their cell phone child support just so they don't have to deal with it. A lot of men will even distance themselves for a while from their kids at times because it get rough and people will judge them, but I don't judge anyone because you can't judge a person when you don't know what that man has went through. Only he knows what that woman has done to them. Because women, we are really evil out here. We have some very evil spirits. We really do need to seek counsel. But like I said, I love you, men. stay prayed up. Continue to be the best version of yourself. Don't entertain them, because that's what most of the time women want. They want you to entertain them. And then they want you to act out of character. Why? So they can say you are who they've been telling people you are. They going around lying on you. So then when you finally get tired and you make sure, they're like, see, I told you. But I do want to say this, men, if you don't do this and you're doing for your child, keep receipts. Keep receipts. So if you have to go to court, if a woman says your child needs something outside of child support, go buy it yourself if you choose to get it, because a lot of women don't always use that money on those kids like they say. Some of them are using it to go buy outfits for the club, getting their nails and hair done. So yeah, if they say your kid needs something, go get it yourself. Or if you have a relative that lives nearby, have them go get it and drop it off. Do what you have to do to protect yourself, men. But don't fight back. Don't put your hands on them, because you know as well as I know, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be the one to go to jail. Even if she hit you first, the woman will always end up being the one that don't end up in handcuffs. And it's sad, but it's the truth. And I'm just going to be honest. But I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Have a blessed day.